one matters, but it was on the new high school in Blanca, that area.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a green platinum level building. It is amazing.
Wow.
I thought, we need that for a community center.
Yeah.
And the park,
Everything. We need senior housing, we need all sorts of stuff.
I wonder, I know CPW, the lake is working on a new visitor center.
Oh, really?
I wonder if they're gonna go that route too. I hope so.
It's really, when we looked at it, they went through all the engineering and everything, and it has things like triple pane glass. They hardly use any electricity. They have a heat pump, and
Wow.
they have lots of natural light. So they're all electric, no propane. So they even found electric Bunsen burners for chemistry.
Wow.
I wonder how you do that, but it's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's really amazing building.
That's really cool. Something
Really
to
energy
aspire
efficient.
to. I know there's some cool buildings around us where I'm always
Of course,
like,
they didn't say how they funded it.
right? It's always a secret, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's one of those days.
It's okay. And we were like, it's probably Monday.
It is Monday. It is Monday. Amanda called off. She was sick,
Oh,
She's
I
sick.
wonder, Zane was sick.
and my computer will not
I wonder
open.
if that whole crew got
Really?
the ick, cause,
Oh,
Such
He had
stuff going
COVID.
around.
Really?
Oh.
so hopefully she didn't get that, hopefully she just got.
Oh, she said she got a lot of sinus pressure.
Beth, if I wanna log on to Wi-Fi, what's the?
It is.
Oh, hold on, perfect, there we go.
Danny.
If I see the sign.
So you can do either one.
So since I don't have a computer,
You are
I didn't bring mine.
welcome.
I was like, no way. Walked in, turned on my computer, blue screen.
Blue screen of death.
oh no.
Because it knew it was Monday for you. And it was like, not
Knew it was
today.
Monday, knew Amanda was out, just figured you could use, you know.
Just a little bit of adversity on a Monday.
That's all right. We will.
So I can navigate most of my files through my phone, so
No worries.
I'm not texting. I'm not playing games.
We have full trust in you. And you said starting with, which one did you want to start with, Taylor, on Friday? Did you say
Oh,
9
we can
or?
do, I can
either?
stick around for, if we're trying to do both in an hour. we
9
can
and
do,
10.
Yeah.
Is that what we're
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at?
happy to help.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we should
I was a
start
little
with.
stressed about time and stuff on last week.
I know,
I
right?
was like, oh no.
So I think if we should start with number 9, the leveraging partnerships. So, okay, so it says that the strategies checked above under common strategy or action, what is working well, list accomplishments to date. And I'm happy to write in the Google
Good.
Docs as we,
Because I didn't write anything on the computer. I just
Chat.
took notes.
no worries. So I guess, Linda, what notes do you have that you would like to share for
Oh,
that?
diverse recreation groups. I have the Pueblo Mountain Park,
Okay.
or DC. I always forget, NWDC.
I mean, they did the longest name. I was like, why didn't we just call it the Pueblo Nature Center, guys? Like,
Yeah.
I
that would've been
don't,
good.
I was not there for the meeting, so I've acronymed it just so I can say it.
So trail runners, are involved, right?
Yes, yep,
I don't know if they're official, and,
they're pretty, yeah.
volunteers for Outdoor Colorado. Kind of.
Yes, if we hire them, I mean,
We
yeah,
have
I'd
to hire them.
say, I'd say more Southern Colorado trail builders, they're really,
At this point, is it redundant to list all of these when we have a stakeholders list already built in this?
I think they want to know like which partnerships we're, I guess, leveraging for number 9 specifically is the way I read it, but
Okay.
Okay, there's another one called Gravel Adventures Field Guides, and those are for mountain biking. I have a friend who just did it and gave me one.
Yeah,
It's
they're
really
great.
Cool.
and kind of with that, grassroots gravel is tied pretty closely to that.
Okay, and then the school district does the Beulah Challenge, District 70.
And at cross-country meets, so they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Just District 60 is good,
Right,
because
those
they
are
do.
both really important. I didn't even think of that. We have the archery range,
Yeah.
which is in poor condition. I couldn't think of any others.
Who's the, oh my God,
There used to be, I don't know what they're called, but years and years ago, because I went a couple times with my mom, that snowshoeing group, is that still active in the park? They were like really, this was years ago. I was
Yeah.
a teenager,
know.
so I
I
don't.
don't see
well,
them.
like 4-H, you know,
Yeah, we
all
go
of
there
those we
a
can
lot.
add. And then there is, I'm blanking on the name of his
Can you use the
company, but
programs?
yeah, we
Like
can
it.
use.
The programs that you have at the park? Should we
Or
specifically
other-
say, or just not?
I think those would probably fit more in, you might be able to put
Town,
those in some,
another place.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there is one with the 100-mile race that he does his, I'm blanking on the name of his company. I know the name of the race, but I can
Okay.
add it in.
Okay,
Okay.
that's all I could think of.
Okay.
I guess
Charter sporting outdoors.
US Forest Service, CPW are also on there,
Right.
because they're doing a lot to try to get those trails improved and then new hunting.
Does CSU Pueblo still do anything at all there?
We've gotten better with them. I mean, they partner. We sometimes, yeah, I guess no, because Christine Rochester from the university brings her students up each semester, and they do. So does Daniel Bowen. So yeah.
Okay.
And I know the Collegiate Farm Bureau group they're finally got people last semester, so now they're trying to do some stuff. So they've started to get more of their feet wet with us, and I know they're trying to get up there because they're trying to do like a community garden at CSUP and trying to build more outdoor education things for their students.
Oh,
yeah,
we have a
you know.
community garden.
Yeah, they do.
Right about that. What else do we have?
Any other groups?
I don't know if we are considered a group that we just get in trouble for the pickleball club.
You're right. It really wasn't your fault.
It wasn't, but we are the fall guy. That's okay.
It was probably District 70.
We're up there quite a bit.
Okay, we're the fall guy for a lot of the city
That's-
stuff, so
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
I know between our three offices, I think we just ping pong calls off each other sometimes, like the poison ivy lady. I don't know if you ever got my email about that, where I was like, I don't know, they're angry. Just don't touch
Poison
it.
ivy at the river campus that like I actually didn't know about until that call.
Well,
so
the
it's
Parks and
like-
Rec got a department, which they sent to me, which I sent to Taylor, and they were like, somebody, and I'm
Poison
like,
ivy all over.
don't
Yeah, when I
touch
saw
it.
that one, I was like,
Beulah, but
it's
at the
I was like,
river,
Beth?
I didn't know it was at the
Like,
river
I don't
campus,
know.
too. I knew
So
it was-
Like, that's Taylor's area.
It's something, it's a learning experience for
right?
sure.
That's what.
Hmm.
I'm like, welcome to nature.
Right? It's like, well,
We've had people go after us because they got scared by a red racer and they tried to. I was like, they're
Or
like,
bears or mountain lions,
yeah, you
Or
know,
both.
they're like, you know about these
rattlesnakes,
animals.
got it all.
That's correct, we do.
they live there.
Yeah. that's funny.
Red racers are the coolest snakes.
They are, but they are a little, they're fast
Yeah.
and they
They're
are
very fast.
great.
spicy.
And they're very long.
Just
I mean, they're
drink
the
it.
longest,
Summer.
fastest snake in North America. I did
didn't
some
know that,
research on
actually.
them.
That- I did not-
Okay.
They can get up to 108 inches.
I feel like what the discussion was Friday about the employers and all that we like thoroughly talked about. I feel like that's what the second
Thing.
one is. I don't think
What,
we
the
need to.
economic development groups and partners?
Yeah, since Sumi did a really good job
So I've gotten
listing those.
grants
Oh,
from
okay.
San Isabel Electric and Basin Electric Cooperative for like community gardens and.
They also
other
help
stuff.
fund the Carhartt Trail.
Which was
Yeah.
what was the name of the second one?
Basin Electric Cooperative.
And then, or is it Tri-State Electric?
Tri-
I think there's Basin and Tri. We'll
Right.
confirm on that, but yeah, we've gotten.
Is it Black, did you get anything from Black Hills?
No, not up there.
Okay.
And they're all grants. Are they grants tied to different things, or what are the grants tied
The
to?
grants have been tried to various events. They helped with the community garden, they helped build our pavilion, they helped with the Dodson cabin. They've been really great supporters, but it's limited. We get maybe 3,000 for an ask. And then,
And then I can go in and fill in any other, like, grant works are grants specific to
Right.
supporting the park development. I mean,
So we
CPW
have-
has been good.
4-H is sometimes up there,
Mm-hmm.
and FFA sometimes comes.
Are you on the third one now, Linda?
No, I think-
Still on the second one? Okay. Just making sure. I was like,
I
okay.
don't know where they all go.
I didn't know if those ones are almost at
So
least
look at
one.
it in there.
So we might want
Partners.
to put things in different spots, but those are just things I was brainstorming. And CSU Pueblo still has a recreation degree, right? Or do we know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
right now, it's not looking favorable.
Right. I
Really?
think they were gonna talking with one of the professors for it. They are gonna change it. I don't remember what the new.
It's looked like they were gonna go
Degree?
more business route.
I think so.
And like, but also then maybe tie some of the rec more into the natural resource so that like there was kind of, which makes
But it does make sense.
sense because they
Right.
weren't getting it through the health and science, like the promotions just was not filling what was.
Are there any bicycle groups that are formal that actually use, besides that one I mentioned?
Not like because no one like, there's not groups that meet up there or
Or
anything.
use it formally?
No, that do.
Okay.
Yeah, no groups, because
Okay.
it's really just that one trail right now.
Yeah.
And
Does the community college have anything that that they use it for? I can't think of anything.
PCC, no, they don't really come up there for, although, no, who do we use? Let me try and see. We've done there's the, Pueblo West Fire Department will come up there and do trainings on
Oh.
trees.
And so does our fire department,
Yep,
the Beulah
so-
Beulah volunteer and,
and then we also we have the
Ambulance
Swift crew, which is, I mean, that's,
right.
all that money, it's like 600.
You still get convicts who come up and cut trees?
Or the YOS comes up, they don't cut trees, but they help with like doing the fire, they'll like bring the wood in. The YOS crew,
So funding groups, I mean, this almost goes into the next one on 10, which is natural resources. We should just wait for that.
I mean, the city is big.
The city.
The city is a big stakeholder in that.
Yeah.
Right. I can't think of any other groups. As far as funding, I mean, lending institutions, we have used Division of Local Affairs, DOLA, and State Revolving Fund, SRF,
State. What?
Revolving Fund. And we've used that for the water district. And there's also funding available for other possibilities.
Take that line and move it
And Dola's been great for.
To
Yeah.
this
to
one?
economic development.
Any others?
Ah.
Well, you can get grants from congressionally directed spending. It becomes an EPA grant, but they're really horrible to administer and get. But that is also a possibility.
Okay.
We had a shoe-in EPA grant,
What?
a shoe-in EPA grant, and we failed.
We didn't get it.
We got one, but it's so awful that we haven't used it. It's
So
380,000 and there's so much that has to be required to get it.
This
I
one
mean,
was
to actually,
20
money.
million, and it took a lot of work.
yeah,
And they're like, oh, you're good, you're good, you're good.
and then you didn't
First
get it.
round denial. I was like, whoa.
That sucks. I was
tell you
hoping.
why?
I was all excited for that one. That one was gonna be a good one.
You're like,
No,
can't
not
wait to put
yet.
that one on the resume, but.
Yeah. Check.
Same, because I helped with it, and I was like, "Oh, great!" And I'm like, "Dang it!" Okay, now we're on what is this?
Established partnership.
Oh,
1, 2,
another
3,
one,
4.
another one that's important, and they can get good money, is Palmer Land Conservancy.
Mm-hmm. That should go back up here.
But I don't know where that would go. I mean, there's other places we could put it.
I'm gonna just kind of put them like in the
I'd say
economic
that one
one?
fits really well in the like stakeholder group, active and working in partnerships with landowners to
I like-
prioritize.
they really are.
environment. Yeah,
Does that go with number
Like-
3? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
the next one anyway?
And then, yeah, the next one is kind of a, that's US Forest Service, CPW
Yeah.
at this, well,
Right.
us / the city.
There's actually
'cause
quite
we
a
do have-
few. The community center,
The
the water district, Beulah Waterworks District, District 70. And they have a group called Beth, which is Beulah Educational Support Team. And they're the ones, they raise money, some of the money to send kids up to the mountain park.
Yes, they do.
Beulah Education
Support Team.
Support Team.
Someone knows all the acronyms, Linda, 'cause
I had to learn acronyms.
so many acronyms.
The fire department,
I have them on here.
Beulah is, I don't remember the full name, I'm on their board. It's a Beulah Volunteer.
Auxiliary.
Yeah.
like,
No, Beulah Volunteer Fire and Ambulance District.
Or Beulah Fire Protection and Ambulance.
Yeah,
District.
that's it.
Mhm.
I only know it because I googled it. I was like, it's a long one.
I would just have to pull up Chief Ware's email signature line. Okay.
And you can call, the community garden too, is very active. It's new, but it's active. Can you think of any others?
For specific to partnerships with land managers, no.
Establish partnerships with local landowners. I feel like 4 is just
That's the
a
fourth
question.
one.
Yeah, I feel like that's
That's
pretty
just-
specific to our
Yes.
Yeah.
listed.
Oh, okay, right, we just said, but see, we have US Forest Service and the Colorado State Forest Service doing a lot of, fire mitigation.
Yeah, fire mitigation, trail work, I mean, we've been working closely with the folks at US Forest Service to really increase that connectivity of our trail, like from the park to them, it's been a big, and we've been really supportive of that.
And there are other, conservation groups, I can't remember the statewide conservation group's name. It does conservation easements. I'll think of
The
that.
Colorado,
Yeah.
Are you thinking, you're not thinking of NRCS, right? But
No, and NRCS is a good one.
I put them on the,
But the San
Stakeholder.
Isabel Land Conservation is another one that, so these groups all have conserved ranch properties in the Beulah area. I can't remember the other one, but I'll think of it.
not Keep It Colorado, isn't it? No. That's small.
No, that's big.
Is-
It could be Keep It Colorado. Keep It Colorado is the organization of all the land conservation groups in the state. The other one. Can't remember.
I'm trying to think.
It's terrible. I
neighboring
know.
communities, services. I feel like on technically 5, where it talks about neighboring communities and with services and amenities in your region that complement local offerings, I think, and Sumi may have added it, I missed it, but maybe talking about how your restaurant, the Beulah restaurant is, you guys are trying to do it like the Rye Cafe, and so you're trying to bounce
Okay.
what Rye's trying to do a little bit, I guess, or Linda, you can correct me if that's wrong, but
No,
that's
it's
kind of what I
probably
gathered
true.
from the
So,
conversation on Friday.
we also have a
Same.
pizza truck.
I'd say
There we go.
maybe, like, not as much as it could be when it comes specifically with, like, the local priorities are reflected in
Yeah.
regional plans, because I don't know if that's true.
We don't really have
Do you
any
highlight
regional
that the-
plans.
That the education system is split between 2 communities there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Pueblo School District 70 is an important one to put down because they do cover us.
And, yeah,
Right.
and we bring 60 up, the park is city,
Right.
it's,
But then, right, so we
So
put
we
NWDC
do,
as
yeah.
definitely one of those.
so, yeah, we are, there
And-
is some connection.
San Isabel Electric Association is really important because it's a association, so it's a nonprofit, was started in Beulah, which is pretty interesting. with rural electrification. And it covers our whole area, I mean, big area. And so all those land trusts also go in that category.
And
Oh, San Isabel is called San Isabel Land Protection Trust.
Land Protection Trust. Okay.
Is that the one that you put up there?
I've had San Isabel Land Conservation Group.
Yeah, and it's actually called San Isabel Land Protection Trust. And they have conservation easements in that area as well.
Okay.
We're going on to the next one.
Yeah. Is there anything else like in the service and amenities that we need to add that's not in? Because I also feel like those earlier ones, like 1 through 4, are probably going to hit on more of that. So I don't know if we
And I'm
necessarily.
working on those, so I can always like refer back to, I
Cool.
can add like the,
One
you know.
through 4.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So we'll just
to
keep going
reference
then.
Back to, or reference to one, yeah.
So the next one, your community is engaged in regional recreation and conservation. Some of these hit the same ones all the time.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say yes. See partners
So I
listed
think all
above.
of the land trusts do that. And then we can also count US Forest Service, Colorado State Forest Service. Probably CSU Extension does some of that.
Yeah, we do.
Certainly Annie does some of that with, I don't know what we call her.
She is the
She's
she's a regional specialist. I don't remember what
I know.
because we keep
regional
changing the
grazing
regions.
Specialist for Eastern Colorado or something, but I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact title.
I would have to pull up an email, a work email from her.
But, I mean, that's just, I don't know if we have to be that specific.
I don't think so.
We just, there are diverse, groups through CSU that advise.
Right. Because I think really they just like these other ones just seem to be like yes or no questions. Like, is this an area that's currently working? Like, there are good partnerships, there are regional partnerships in the area.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'd
that's.
say those regional partnerships have definitely increased opportunities.
Yeah, they have.
And yes to that.
And the last one?
Yes, because
Yeah.
we've had students who went to Beulah School, we've had CSU Pueblo, I was a CSU Pueblo student, I worked part-time
too.
as an environmental educator at the mountain park, and here we are now, so there's, same with our, you know, we have people who went through the 5th grade program and worked for us, and other, you know, I don't know about, and CPW and all of that, so.
And of the strategies, checked above what is working well and what's accomplishments to date.
We can do, I can add a little more information on the Carhart Trail development.
Okay.
And other like, funding slash, partnerships that have led
Right.
to like additional trail maintenance at the park.
And they've also, like San Isabel Electric again and Basin, have been really important in supporting financially the projects that we have in the Beulah area.
Community.
Yeah, community, and the community garden and, oh, the county gave us grants too, have given us grants
CSAC.
for the water district. We got 5.2 million. Yeah,
And we get,
We
we get
are
CSAC funding from the county, not the city.
yeah.
I didn't know. I just assumed it was the city, and then I was like, oh no, that's the county that gives us from their pot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I don't think they knew they were.
Really? Well, I have to tell you about one of my ARPA grants. We applied twice and we got the first round of 3.2 million, via COVID. And then we asked for another 2 million, and one of their commissioners, who shall not be named, called me up and said, oh yeah, you're gonna get it. And so we thought we were, the extra 2 million, but we didn't. And we went to a board meeting and presented, and they said, sorry, we don't have any money. And we were just flabbergasted because we had planned on this. Then, that was in February. In July, the county called me up and said, could you use an extra 2 million? And I said, yeah.
It's not extra, we planned on it.
We planned on it, but nobody noticed what it,
Yeah, and
nobody knew what it
so,
was for.
I don't know if somebody refused it, if somebody couldn't do it, I don't know what
Well,
happened.
that's
We did not ask, but we got it.
I always love when people call me up and say,
Could you use more?
you want a little more money?
That-
Or,
that-
oh, we're gonna give you, just add like another
It's always
5K
appreciated.
onto that, right?
That hasn't happened with me working in the county yet. They're
It's-
just like,
It's
oh,
enjoyable when it does, let me tell you,
I
because
was-
it's just a little bit.
we need to
flabbergasted.
take more of your money is all we done.
Okay,
So would you guys say that some, like, economic development it's happening, but it's not as vibrant as it could be?
Oh,
Like, there's
it's
room
not-
for
yeah.
improvement.
it's
yeah,
not
okay.
even
Big time.
happening hardly.
And the strategies to develop for which like your community to focus on.
Oh,
I would really like
put that.
to focus on preservation of open lands.
Yeah, I have land protection,
Yeah.
access, connectivity and funding.
Yep,
That's what.
yep.
Land protection, say it one more time.
Increased access is gonna be a big one for me always, and then like connectivity, more of the like the systems and also through partnerships and then funding. Funding being the,
So has the city ever figured out if the mountain park is actually protected?
so that can be limited. I have to actually I'm gonna be putting in a formal like
Right,
request.
yeah.
I tried the gentleman, he's
Didn't
like,
know.
I've never had anything to do with the park. I'm like, okay.
Well, that was Stephen.
No, different guy.
different guy?
We've tried all our, I was waiting for Steven to get back from his vacation on the 19th before I dug in too much about, I have just a growing list.
A
of-
list?
Surprise, Steven.
Don't ever go on vacation.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Thank you. Thanks for, all of you have been very
what
helpful
else?
and
I said I put in the economic development is an area that could be bolstered.
Yeah, I think that Main Street development, or at least,
It's a biggie, and that's number 4, and if you look at number 4 in this whole paper, we don't have any of it.
I
just went
haven't
through it.
looked
Oh
through
my
the-
gosh, it's no, 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 no. We don't
It's
have
good
any.
for us to know though, you know, it's.
I'd like to see more emphasis on activities for seniors because we have so many.
Yeah. Look, I mean, that's our primary like
Community.
community up there.
Right.
We're working on it.
And also opens up grant opportunities directed towards seniors.
Design
That's
and foster
also
walkability.
what makes us a disadvantaged community because a lot of our seniors are on fixed incomes and have health-related issues.
That is perfect for barriers or challenges, Linda. Okay, hold on.
Oh, and then we have to look at the back page.
The
Oh, yeah.
Funding.
So I have got funding,
retired.
conservation either submits its landowner buy-in, and that is related to funding.
It is both a challenge and an opportunity that the park is of historical designation
yeah,
Right.
when it comes to making
accessibility.
accessibility and improvements and
Yeah,
distance or lack of public transportation is a huge.
and school transportation is a
Yeah.
huge issue because the more kids would come if we could somehow do buses. And then support of just Pueblo City Council for the mountain park. I think that's a
Yeah.
biggie.
I know Pueblo Transit, when we talked to him, he's like, I wanna put like a weekly route.
I'd be so excited, that'd be so amazing.
And
It's
it
how
would,
should
it wouldn't
be.
be like a huge route, but it would be like
Just
a
like-
pickup, drop off once
It
or
would be
twice a day,
huge.
Yeah.
just to bring people
It would be
into town.
huge. And like,
we've got a super ambitious guy right now that he's trying to
get him on that early, because that's the one that's gonna be the hardest one.
he's trying to knock down a lot of barriers. Like, we're actually connecting to, Pueblo West will not let us connect into Pueblo West. 'Cause they don't want people. So we can go right up to their border with the Medal of Honor. So we will have a bus transit hub right
There.
at Joe Martinez and Purcell. But the bus has to turn around right there and leave because
Why
they
don't they don't want Pueblo people to come to Pueblo West?
Yes,
They're such snots.
yeah, we're bringing bad things to Pueblo
We're bringing
West.
to ease of transportation. Like, I love public transport.
I know, it's awesome.
Like,
So
you go to
important.
cities that have good public transport, you're like, this
This
is
is how
actually
it should be.
delightful.
Okay. Any other barriers or challenges?
Water. Oh, but that doesn't have anything to do with.
It can,
It can, it
Absolutely.
has everything to do with
Yeah.
everything in Colorado now.
You're right, water.
Yeah, because it affects like how much economic development there can be to a certain extent.
But you know
so.
what? We are solving a lot of those problems right now. I mean, the Star District has done a lot for that.
Which I think goes right into the
Example.
next question.
Part of this $2 million grant is to fund a raw
So just
water
put
tank
Linda
that we can use for
on this next one.
fire protection. We
Yeah.
provided 500,000 gallons of treated water to fight fire this summer
wow.
because that's all we had, treated water. And
Well, they were about to take from the pond, and I had to tell them that
we can't.
I was like, there are endangered minnows in there. I don't know if you want to be.
Well,
You're on
and
the
they
wrong
had
side
to
of that.
stop taking it from pond because of the algae and
Mhm.
I was like, just so you know, if you do use this, it's going to be a bit of a fish fry with an endangered fish.
So,
up to you guys.
also
Go
Beulah
send his,
Volunteer Fire and Ambulance,
Huge.
whatever, has just gotten a $7 million grant for fire suppression
Yeah.
activities along Highway 78 and
Yeah.
along a lot of the outlying streets in Beulah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
They're
Yeah,
key.
They are so
Beulah
key.
Fire's been key on both partnerships, like supporting partnerships, giving grant funding.
On health, on risk analysis, and then trying to get grants to fix it. They've been really, really good. It's like Brian Ware is our mayor.
It is true.
Well, and I think Brian also realizes that it's important for them to reach out to the other groups like you, like me, when there's stuff like that going on, because like we can tell them, you shouldn't do that because you're
Brian.
not thinking of all the issues.
Mayor Brian is very good at what he does.
He really is.
Who
What partnerships are not what they need to be at the moment? Mountain Park and City Council? Or are they getting better?
No, that one's actually,
That's
that one's
pretty good.
better. It
Okay.
really is. They didn't cut our funding, so.
Oh, that's very good.
Well, no, yeah, that one's more stable.
Good.
But we can put that as,
potential for me.
potential, like, in the past, there's been,
And it needs to be
Serious.
stable, a stable relationship, which I think is really critical, and I don't know what you do when you have different city councils.
try to woo.
That's a hard one. The partnerships are not where they need to be. How about District 60 and District 70, as far as like,
District 70 could improve, specifically with the park, because really it's only the Beulah School that
Yeah.
does like a lot of stuff with us. I'd love for that to,
Really?
yeah,
well, we have, some of their schools do field trips with us. Usually it's because they've had teachers come from 60
And they
to
just
70,
know
and then
that-
they're like, oh, well, we really still like, I want that for my student. But we don't have, like, with 60, we have the Earth Studies program, which has been running since
oh, and that's with 60.
2000.
I didn't know
And
that
that's
was
with 60. And that's
Wow.
been bringing those District 60
Yeah, I'm
fifth
thinking
graders
now,
up for
I-
almost 25 years, but it does not do the same with 70.
I have 3 kids in 70 that have never
Been there?
And a lot of, we tried, I think there's been multiple attempts to try to expand that program, but some of the schools in 70 think they're too far away to do that.
That's
Yeah,
where the
which I'm like,
busing
no,
thing
it's
is a
not.
big deal,
Yeah,
transportation.
and we used to have buses, but they had a horrible liability for us.
Public transit.
But you used to have them, right?
We did, but.
Yeah,
honestly,
cross your
shouldn't have
fingers.
been-
Is that why you
shouldn't
said
have been
never
an
again?
operation. Never
Huh?
again, yeah.
It was that bad?
Well, like, if you actually, like, cause I was one of I got my CDL to bus kids when I was the program director. And I learned more about like the liability that places on the driver as well as the organization if the bus is like, if a window doesn't open correctly and someone rear ends you, you can then be liable for like the entire, because you shouldn't have been on the road because that one window didn't open. Right, yeah, so like.
Yeah,
It was I was like, oh, I was that one driver who was like, no, I'm not driving until this is fixed.
yeah.
Not putting kids in
And
this.
you're worried about maintenance
Yeah, oh.
of the buses
Yeah.
always.
But,
I put us on there just because I
Yeah,
mean we
I-
could grow in our educational programs for both youth and
Cool.
for senior
Yeah.
residents. Like I mean, there's
You
only
could
a
put-
few of us, but it doesn't mean we couldn't. We are trying to expand more.
You know
Yeah,
what
you
has
could
really
put
helped us
put
with the
them on
community
there.
Yeah, you
garden
could put
too.
us in there too.
Put them all,
Okay.
just put it, we can all be there.
Yeah. The community garden was really helped by the shed program,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. I mean, they really gave us some grants that we absolutely needed to get going.
You can add US Forest Service
Okay.
on there. It's gotten better. Like that's been successful over the last couple of years, but it could be
Better. You could probably do more with Colorado State Forest
Yeah.
Service as well. Yeah. How about NRCS? Natural Resource Conservation Service, so they should be helpful in something.
Yeah,
Like analysis,
especially because I know
Plan.
Lana has those 2 new guys working in there, but I don't think those 2 new guys have ever been to Beulah because they're not from here. They're from other states, I think. So I don't think they've really even gone that way.
So I think that would be a good collaboration.
once again, I love collaborating. That's my favorite thing to do. Like, I just gotta get someone to take some of the other stuff off,
Right.
then I'll go ham on the
We
stuff
do
I
a
like.
fair amount of work with Colorado Rural Water Association. I don't know that they can help us much with recreation.
In that same vein, I don't know, do you feel like the 2 other water districts support you guys? I mean, I feel like I know the answer to that, but you could tell me your answer, Linda.
You mean the other water district in Beulah?
If you get any assistance or
Oh, we
connection with Turkey
have.
Creek or South Pueblo or have in the past?
Actually,
Okay.
not a lot, but we have gotten some.
From both or just from
Pueblo,
South Pueblo?
yeah, city
Mm-hmm.
of Pueblo. They will come out and do taps for us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If we're having an emergency, sometimes they'll send somebody out. But Colorado Rural Water Association is actually more tap. And it's a regional thing, so it's really, really helpful. But we could use them more. And finances, I don't know if there are better partnerships we can have for finances, because that's always, for everybody, that's always an issue. And I'll just tell you, another thing that we need, Beulah has a lot of volunteer people, and they're all older, and they're all getting tired. And so we need a way to involve younger people in volunteer
And
programs.
that's a good one for 10. There's a big
Oh, for
piece
10?
on, yeah, on
Okay.
order, like
Oh, yeah.
volunteer.
Oh, wait.
Well, it's just not even stewardship of natural resources, it's everything.
Everything, yeah.
It's the same people do everything.
It is true, I know.
That's
Every club has the
everything.
same way, but you
Yeah.
know, like there's so many clubs, but they're all the same
Same
members.
people.
Okay, well, are we good? Do we want to go and move on to
Let's do
10 real
10.
quick? Okay, so it looks like it's kind of the same
A lot of it is the
thing,
same.
and we could just probably jump down to the questions instead of going through all the bullet points, because it looks like it's...
Core group of
There's
volunteers.
some no's though in this one.
Okay, where...
Some
So
others.
the volunteers, yes.
Which one?
And we can add, you know, I think that's the first one.
Oh, okay.
Volunteers, we definitely, you know, I think we can just go yes and no through
Okay,
these and maybe expound on if there's no's or not
Right,
really.
because a lot of them are the same.
But communication between community leaders and public land managers, this is a hard no.
okay.
Oh, one group that I forgot
Oops.
is the Pueblo Garden, or the Beulah Garden Club. Are active in promoting pollinators and native plant use, less water use.
Hold on, let me add that really quick. Okay. What was it again, Linda?
The Beulah Garden Club.
Yeah.
My yard is turn the whole front into a cool pond.
All right, understanding of stewardship capacity and needs and cooperation on high priority stewardship projects.
No, not really. Yeah, maybe not hard no.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, if it's the same people all the time, so they do communicate.
Or the community leaders though, and the public land managers, that I don't think. And then the community private landowners support, what would you think, or some of it? But some of them, because there's a lot of folks who are very interested in
Right,
land protection and, you know, keeping
There.
the view shed, and a lot of people
Exactly.
who care very passionately about the park and its success.
and they're very passionate about the alfalfa field.
Yes. Is that Dean? Yeah, just his,
I try and try.
he really wants to see us proud.
He wants to what?
He wants CSU Pueblo, he wants to do have an educational ag program thing up
Which would
there
be
in
great.
partnership with,
And if he,
the park, which would
We've
be amazing.
been
You know Dean
pushing.
if
Anderson?
he put a conservation easement
I
on
feel
it,
like I
all
do.
of that could happen.
Right, I know.
And it would leverage money.
So I can tell you the hiccup with that is there's people internal to CSUP who did a needs assessment of everywhere north of us and asked them if they would come to CSU Pueblo for ag education. And of course they all said no, because they're closer to NJC and CSU and all of those. And I said, well, you looked at the wrong area. You didn't ask here, you didn't ask east of us, you didn't ask west, and you didn't ask the south. So
Right.
why didn't you ask the people who would come, which is all of us around? And they said, well, we don't think there's enough desire to have an ag program
Oh,
here.
you're kidding.
Holly's working on that.
Holly is
pretty
working on
actively,
it.
isn't she?
Yeah, she's still pretty new, unfortunately. So, and the ones that are more outspoken are very much higher up on the food chain. So we've been pushing, and our past president for CSU Extension was pushing. She came down quite a bit and pushed that, and we held a lot of stakeholder meetings with them, and we were like, we can show you with the 4-H numbers, with the FFA numbers, with all of this. We've shown them all the District 60 stuff we do, the District 70 stuff. We're like, these kids want ag education.
They do.
They want it. We have the numbers. We have the proof. You want more proof? Then give us what you need. Tell us what you need. And
look at
you
all
know,
the farm kids on the mesa
You
and
can
all
have,
along the
like,
river.
Yeah, and then that's why Dean wants that higher elevate, like to show what's possible up in the different. And, it's
Mhm.
like, and then your park could be like Pingree Park. Okay.
But he needs to preserve it first, but he wants them to get the money to do it. Of course, he's
That
gonna
will be
wait so
tough.
long and he'll die first. He's a good friend,
I know,
but
I know, he's my landlord. He goes,
No, no.
They always like that. He's great, but yeah, we've had some good talks about it. He's professor, or was PhD and like all, done a lot of Interesting man.
Well, he developed the first, colored cows, that you get remote sensing for animals. I mean, he's been all over the world doing these
I think
things.
that's why I was like, I don't know if I personally.
And he has his special cows.
Yeah, the criollo,
Oh,
the Maury
those-
criollo cows.
I just know them as the special cows. They're just adorable.
Like
They're the
little
cutest
cows?
cat. Well, they're pretty small, but they're like
They look
hardy
like-
and like.
They look like Corrientes, and most people think they are, but they're not. Their seed stock came from Copper Canyon in Mexico. They're
Oh,
very,
okay.
theoretically very tough, but he treats
He
them like
babies them.
babies, and they're not,
Yeah.
I just
their life is
rid
not
of my
tough.
last Corriente. Gone forever.
You would like them gone forever?
I have no more, I call them the Mexican dancing cows.
Yeah.
All I do is dance and put holes in other cows.
Oh, yeah.
They're really good
Um,
fence jumpers.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like them.
your community promotes.
Do Colorado Right principles or other
He does. I
Yeah,
mean,
we do. I mean,
we have
we have,
recycling, and this is all done by volunteers.
yeah, we have leave no trace principles at the park.
And we have a community garden that is pesticide-free. We definitely use low water gardening techniques because we don't have any water. So everybody tries using native plants or fake flowers.
I noticed that. That was like the thing that driving through the community that really caught my attention.
The fake flowers?
Yes.
Probably drove by my house. Because I used to be a landscape designer.
Oh, really?
I hated fake flowers, but then I felt like I can't be using a lot of water for gardening because I'm on the water
The
board.
conservative
And
side.
I'm telling people, and our water is so expensive that you just can't.
I've been in
You cannot.
landscaping for 15 years,
Really?
and this is the first year I've ever said, maybe artificial turf isn't a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, it killed me to do this.
Yeah,
I was so embarrassed, actually. If anybody that I knew from my previous life drove by, they'd be horrified.
I guess Taylor, that's a question for you. New recreation development projects have been designed to be sustainable and appropriate resource management plans are in place. Like, do you feel that?
No. I mean, to a point, like, the trail maintenance that we're doing is to the current trail specifications of like sustainable trail. But
But do you
there
have a
is
plan?
no, but we have a organizational plan. There is the park does not have any formalized land management plan.
Really?
No, there's the healthy forest plan
Right.
tied to the fire mitigation at the park. That is the only, so that's
That's really interesting.
I walked in and was like, what do you mean there's no land management plan for this park? But
The
that's
other
not
thing that
something
would
that
be
the
really
organization can do without the city's.
But you know what else would be really,
Who would you have sit in with creating that? Because right now I need to do that for Rye Mountain Park.
really?
'Cause Rye Mountain Park has no land management.
I wonder if we could go, I bet we could go after a GoCo planning grant, because Chris has already told me they'd be interested. And
Really?
if the city's been hesitant to put in for it, because even if I offered to write it, because they have,
Too many GoPro things.
they
They
don't
wanna
wanna
use it
like,
for something
take
else.
away
and
from their
so
GoPro.
possibly, but if there's the collab, of we're gonna have both the mountain parks in this general area looked at.
That might be a really good thing.
I'm talking to
Yeah.
Chris later tomorrow, I can float it.
Okay, because we floated Pueblo County Parks master plan with them. I think we put in for, I don't know, Amanda was working with them the other day, but I don't know how that went.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the mountain park is, I don't even think that's on his radar for that Pueblo County has Rye Mountain Park.
Yeah, probably not,
Uh-uh.
but yeah, because I told the city, I was like, we can't, I don't wanna do big things without a formalized land management plan,
Right.
and I'm not going to make up the goals entirely for a whole park that is not ours. I
You
want
know?
some buy-in.
If
Right,
they put
from
out
Forest
a formal
Service.
conservation easement, that would be required. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it
So-
would have to be updated every 5 years at least. Because I've worked on a lot of those for Colorado
Yeah.
Springs.
So, no, but yeah, there's unfortunately no. formal
Sorry,
list.
I didn't
And
mean
there
to
hasn't
sidetrack
been
this.
for,
You're okay.
That was just caught my attention. I was
Maybe
like,
ever.
yeah,
Where
probably
would we
not
do that?
ever at the rate.
For
Oh, you
this,
know what would be important too, in conjunction with that, is development of a volunteer group for land management. And I,
Karen's working on that one right now.
oh, good.
Yeah, she's
right.
working on that
That's
front
really
side
good.
of things.
But
So
that's,
that's-
so your board is working on things like that? Because we
Yes, yeah.
did that, like for Cheyenne Mountain State Park, got a really robust volunteer group that still exists.
Karen's passion project for this year is gonna be to get a friends group together.
Good.
So,
for the funding part, I just said yes, but it's extremely limited and not consistent. It's also typically in small amounts, such as 3,000 or less.
Yeah,
and I went,
that capture pretty well?
sustained stewardship funding.
we get a
No,
little bit from the
donations.
city,
Yeah,
so but
but
it's
that's
not
like,
enough.
that's not stewardship, that's just basic maintenance.
Okay.
So you don't have it, we don't have any tax dollars, any property tax dollars going to that at all.
Yeah, somewhat,
It's
not,
practically non-existent.
yeah, I have 300,000 for two property locations. Is what the city gives me.
That's awesome. I know it sounds bad. I operate 12 parks with $42,000.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Cause I broke down the city's parks budget,
It's a
and I
huge,
looked at I went so far as I looked at all the acreage of all of their parks,
they can't even,
including ours. And I like broke it down for like it's like dollar per acre,
Mm-hmm.
and then what our dollar per acre equates to of what they give us, and it's pennies.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a little more.
Yeah.
We have the most of our park, this park of yours is leagues bigger than all your other parks put together. Anyways,
So the
I
next one,
digress.
businesses support,
What do you think, Linda?
I don't think we do. Oh, well, maybe there's some businesses in Colorado, or in Pueblo City, but they don't really. Any businesses in Pueblo City that support things like hiking trails, biking at all?
businesses. I mean, the bike
Financially.
shops, like the Great Divide,
Do they support it financially?
not necessarily
But
in
they-
Beulah, but they do sponsor Southern Colorado Trail Builders,
Right.
and they support.
So that's a good one to put down, Southern Colorado Trail Builders.
do you
I didn't
put that
mention
they are
them.
based out
But
of
so that's
Pueblo
a
City?
volunteer only group.
Right.
Yeah.
We could look at the businesses who sponsor SoCo Trail Builders.
Uh-huh, and so that's a plus.
And who have sponsored, maybe even sponsored us, specifically tied to any of our like trail work stuff. But yeah, not a lot of, I wouldn't say so.
A plan to.
San Isabel Electric is another, that's a grant that they've supported.
Mhm. They support everything,
Mhm.
and they're really, really good. Do we have a plan? No, we don't have a plan. I mean, it would be a cool thing, I've done this before, we've got a week thing where we volunteer to work.
And we do, I mean, when we have groups come up, we'll give them a free program day if they do like 2 hours of volunteering with us. Like if they add a stewardship component, we'll give them a discount on something. So a lot of our college groups that we have come through, or high school, I think even the young 4-Hers do a, couple hours of stewardship with us.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Well, we
not the
always
community. It's
pick
not-
you guys
Yeah.
for our cleanup for this,
Hey, we love it. We'll take it.
which is always like, that's not on the fountain. We're like, it's still part of the watershed,
It
so.
sure is.
Yeah.
So on that, but no, not community wide.
A comprehensive stewardship management strategy and or plan.
No, and we need that. I think that's.
It's a
really
part of
good-
our, this is all part of our strategic plan is to get here, Linda, this last.
I know, to get
To
to
get
on
to
the
that.
back of the page,
Yeah,
it says that.
all of our,
Okay,
all of our
so,
But the
strategic-
strategies
Make
above what
things.
is working well.
what did you guys say? Number one, which was I think it goes back to Linda's point, the volunteer, like it's a really strong, the strongest strategy is the volunteer groups.
In our community.
Yeah.
We take the place of community government. We do all the things that the government, that if we had a government, they would do it.
So is Beulah considered a special district?
Yeah, our water district is.
Cause they don't get any of like the CTF funds or the Colorado Trust fund.
No, we're a special district. So
So
the
they
water,
are-
both water districts are special districts. I think, and the fire department gets tax money. And I think they're a special district too. We fall under those rules,
Wow,
special districts.
so that really limits the opportunity for local government within the county.
Yeah,
They don't, but it will not prioritize it.
right. If we're a special district, I didn't know that. For money.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, cause I'm trying to go through the list in my brain of, cause I'm thinking of how all that money breaks down for Pueblo County and nothing goes to Beulah.
Right. And I don't think any of the water districts, there's something like, I don't know, 7 or 8 water districts in Pueblo County. We're all special districts. You have to be.
Cause somehow Colorado City ties into something that's not a special district, but the city of Rye does.
Oh, because they're a city. Or do they have a government? Rye does. As a mayor. I don't know about Colorado City. I don't know what they are.
Huh.
I had no idea that we would not be eligible because we're a special district. If we were managed by Pueblo Water somehow, if we tried to do this, to get a group of districts together that share resources.
Uh-huh.
No one was interested. There's this real
Nutshell.
protectiveness about their
or
own water.
even in our little
Oh, gosh.
community, just our 2 little ones.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to change in the next couple of years because I sit on the Turkey Creek board and my coworker sits on South Pueblo, and the change of the guard is coming. It's just gonna still take a
Changes of
couple
the
years.
guard, what do you mean, like board members?
I think an entirely new thought process of how conservation districts and water districts should be approached in this region is coming
So good.
because they're just running out of
It's
time.
not working.
No.
So
There
my former treasurer and I had this mantra, it was too small to survive. And that's what we all are.
Yep,
We
and
need-
that's
We need to collaborate, share.
I can tell you that's all of the groups here feeling that. That's all I hear at the board meetings. So they're aware, and like some of them are taking that by storm and making positive changes, and some are, well, they're gonna find out the hard way that if you don't do that, they die.
Our board made a decision 4 years ago to become resilient in the face of climate change. And therefore we had 4 major projects, and hopefully it's all happening this
You
year.
guys have a good one.
We have a great board. I love our board.
I know.
Oh, they're up. Okay,
I know one who wants to work with you guys more.
one board member,
At least one, yeah.
yes.
He's great.
I know,
I
he
miss him
is.
so much.
What is working well? Did we already say this?
I just put what I wrote is the strongest strategies is the volunteer connections in this community, and I should fix that. And they work like a special committee group. The volunteer groups are responsible for many of the tourism events in that area, new building creation and maintenance, and many, if not all, outdoor recreation events / educational opportunities.
And I think that we look at Mountain Park, Water District, Fire Department. We three, is there somebody I'm forgetting? Really cooperate to work together on community problems and community activities. Am I forgetting one group?
Well, community activities now, I guess, is the Beulah Social Club.
Yeah, but I'm just looking
Yeah,
at
the
the
bigger.
big picture things
Yeah,
that makes it our community work.
No, I think,
Those are the three.
because there's not really, because it's not like Pine Drive, water and like telephone and stuff doesn't.
Oh, right,
They do,
but they're
I mean, they
important too.
help, yeah.
Yeah, I think Pine Drive
Help,
Telephone
they,
is really
they do more,
important too.
yeah, they, because
Right, they're really, really helpful. giving
Pine
them-
Drive elect,
Pine Drive Communication, or is it Beulah Communication?
Beulah Land Communications.
Beulah Land, because, yeah, even though it's Pine Drive Telephone and Beulah Land, but Beulah Land Communications is, I think,
Like
the
the umbrella.
umbrella name.
so then for like focus areas, I put like, there's no formalized land plans and
Yep.
stewardship and land management. Sustained stewardship, funding is extremely lacking, business support is lacking. I was just trying to go through the other
I'd
bullet points
say,
that we said no
like,
to.
Linda, like a comprehensive like volunteer plan, or like a volunteer recruitment,
I wish,
because of the, and
I think we have too many nonprofit, too many little groups, and we need to collaborate or consolidate some of those. For example, we have a history society and we have a Dodson Cabin.
history, Dodson Cabin,
Should-
arts councils, Beulah Social Club. I'm sure there's like 3 more.
Garden Club,
The Garden Club, yeah, there's a lot of little clubs that, and it's
the
often
same
the same
people,
people, because those are, but they
and they're mostly seniors.
But they were all one, or not one, they were like, really it was 2 for up until recently. Because it was the Beulah Historical Society and then the Beulah Arts Council.
Oh, yeah, that's
And then the social club came
to take away
because the Arts Council was like, well, we shouldn't be
doing these
doing
things.
like the Halloween thing, or the Yule log shouldn't be ours, or.
Right, social things, yeah.
It's like, you can have
So,
committees.
so there's a problem there in,
Capacity.
right, capacity and,
What is the population?
Beulah, the valley, 450.
500 full-time,
500.
full-time?
I think that needs to be in bold letters on
Is
the
that-
top of
Is
this
that
whole
full-time?
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, it's a very small community. I mean, we have outlying groups, and so outlying, we consider us to have 2,000 about. And if you look at, we use the every door direct mail or whatever it's called to give us that number, there's 2,000.
When you're talking about these groups and the volunteer groups, what is the usual amount of people in each of those? Like a dozen, or is it 4 or 5?
Oh, like, it depends on the group. So Garden Club has about 30. The Dodson Cabin only has a board, we don't have members, so there's like 7, but we have some volunteers. History Society has a lot of members, but not many of them volunteer. They have like 150 members, but most of them don't volunteer.
Wow.
And then there's the Fire Auxiliary, which has 7, but we do fundraisers for the fire department. So, and it's the same people
Yeah,
on all those boards.
it's a very dedicated group.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's wild, like,
That is wild.
yeah,
It is wild.
I cannot, in
and they put on, you know,
the groups I'm a part of, you're lucky to have 150,000 people have 10.
Yeah.
no, it's a very, very,
But a
very
lot of,
active
the problem is, a
community.
lot of them are retirees.
Who's going to
We have a
step in?
fairly well-educated group of retirees, but not all of them are, I mean, most of them are not wealthy, they're on fixed income. So many of our retirees are Social Security, and sometimes they have things like PERA or other retirement programs, but they don't have a lot of money, but they're really active. We have a great book club, has 30 people. I mean, it's pretty amazing to think.
the active level of, I get grumpy sometimes because I'm like, I go to like put an event on the calendar in this tiny town, and I'm like, when?
There's 4 other
When?
things going
There's-
on
Because
every
Yeah.
because
weekend.
everything is happening?
All
Yeah.
the time.
It's pretty
All the time,
incredible.
but like she said, the challenge is the aging population, so who is gonna step in to help continue to support these, or, you
Right.
know? And that's,
So it's just not resources and knowledge lost.
yeah.
Right.
Which would be
So-
really unfortunate.
I just turned 76 and as soon as this water projects are over, I'm off water board because
But also bad for the
it takes all of our time. I mean, we're meeting twice a month, and we have really active, I have a great water board. They do a ton of stuff and they take the place of, if you had a water board in someplace like Pueblo, all they do is make big decisions.
Right,
And we do work, actual work.
right.
I mean, if somebody's water line breaks in the middle of the night,
That's who does.
we have to go and then we have to call somebody with a backhoe, or if we can fix it ourselves, we can. My husband helps and he gets roped in, so, it's tricky to try to keep things going, and you're lucky if you have a great board, and I'm lucky.
Wow, that's incredible.
I have a great board.
I have to find out if I'm gonna be president of the board next week, and I don't want to. I don't know how Beth does her 95 board.
So what
A lot of
board?
coffee.
I'm very active in youth hockey,
Oh, cool.
so.
I'd offer to help with that, but I'm the wrong person.
You don't
I don't
want-
know
you don't
anything about
want
hockey.
It is a maniacal bunch of people right now.
I love just.
There's a selfish group that needs to be moved out,
Uh-huh.
doing a hostile takeover right now.
Oh.
Have you been to the hockey? I've never been to one of the big hockey games.
Oh, I
No?
Neither have
I'm
I.
so excited. I go.
Do you want to?
Yes, so bad.
Okay.
We used to play hockey.
What?
My dad had all these hockey sticks.
The Pueblo
He used
Bulls.
to use rocks and
Yeah.
pucks. It was really
Do you wanna
dangerous.
go?
Yes.
I've always
Okay.
wanted, I've wanted to.
I'm
I wish I
a,
had
my
more opportunities.
my personal business, I sponsor their thing, so I have,
So you're a
I would
skater.
love to go.
I've been playing hockey for 35 years.
My
It's one of
husband
the
is a
only-
fabulous skater. I'm not so good, but he is really a good skater.
I don't know a lot about it, but it's one of the only like sports that I like to watch because it's like
It's
fast
fast.
paced and
It's not
like
boring.
you have blades on your feet and they just like they just
Punching.
Yeah.
Like,
and it doesn't take 4 hours to watch a game.
The games are usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or sometimes Sundays, 7 o'clock, but I usually have an abundance of tickets, so I'll send you a message when I
Oh,
have them.
that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I have 4 together that are right in the middle and they're fantastic.
cool. That would be neat. I
Okay.
know we're over time, but really quickly on it, the last 2 questions. So for barriers or challenges, I said it's always the same people carrying the load for everything. Funding is difficult. Talked about, again, volunteer groups are on fixed incomes, they're retirees. There's also a lot of events going on, but not a great plan for younger generation takeover. And then does you guys have any other barriers?
Transportation's a big one.
Transportation.
For education, so I think our education programs could be much larger if we had the capacity. I don't know if we even have the capacity. If
I
we
put
could-
capacity
But the thing that it would do is invite lower income schools and students, make it possible for them to come and participate.
And that, that I will say we do relatively well because we do bring D60 up, all the
Yeah.
5th graders up at least once, usually twice, to the mountain park
Right.
each year.
Oh.
And we've gotten them to commit to the busing, but it's still, even their
It's
bus
always
is
an
like,
issue, every year,
Yeah.
That
there's
was
an
really
issue
cool how
in
you
their
took all of
budget.
that conversation and I kept looking and glancing and you inputted.
This is also a lot of what I do on the board,
I was
which is
gonna
why
say,
they were
this
like,
is
"You're
very-
never allowed to
I was
step
like-
off
I was like,
because
wow,
this is
that
what I
was-
do."
That is
ownership,
impressive.
ownership too, I think, like specifically with the park is a barrier because there's no ownership / management. It's a gray.
So,
Yeah,
It's
and
benefit and challenge.
so with this whole project, this entire big project, we have certain members of our community who don't want more people to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
And
want to keep it like it is.
I knew that, and when I found this grant, I was like, this could be the best or the worst thing
Yeah.
for this community. I was like, this is a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope, and we only have 2 main roads, and so,
As I watched it out in the county where I live, I don't live very far out, and I watched as this person died and the kids took the land and
And
they subdivided and sold, and we went from really small ranch houses to now I live across the street from a $500,000 three-story house.
Happened in Pueblo
See,
West
and that's
too.
what Palmer has done a lot of for the Mesa. I was president of the board when we started that whole development thing of water transfer from, which is a big deal, from Pueblo buying up water rights of the most productive land, and then people with least productive land still have their water rights, trying to come up with a plan where they can exchange. And politically and socially, that's a really hard sell. But I was just talking to one of the Palmer people last week, and they are in the process of buying a 640-acre farm
Yep,
that has water rights
yep,
that they can start using as the seed to transfer.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if not, it was gonna be, the guy that was competing for it he just wanted to turn it into another solar
Something
place.
though.
No, I
They
think he was
wanted
gonna
to do
turn it into a
solar.
solar place again.
yeah.
And
So what's
So-
happening? I mean, I was talking to Steve Harris, and he told me that it looks like it's gonna go for a farm, which
yeah,
would be really
which is
good.
what we were hearing through Farm Bureau too, because Farm Bureau was pushing Palmer pretty hard on that one. Scott Brazil was, so.
I think one way to kind of like help maybe balance the increase in outdoor recreational opportunity while honoring like the community's like hope for like
To stay a
having it
community.
not
Change a lot.
boom. It does need,
It needs something.
we need some.
Yeah, you need some
people,
traction a
because,
little
yeah,
bit.
if we want the school to stay, but is
That's
that
right.
push throughout this on the highlight of the importance of protecting the view shed and the park and surrounding large
I
properties?
think, yeah, just
Like,
like Jefferson County
And maybe we
They
just
just-
put it in,
conserved everything to slow development, so that
Right.
we maintain
Yeah,
what
because
makes
we
that
just
place.
put-
And you know, the other
we just
thing.
put that in each thing.
Category.
And then when we have those big people, we have a united front of people who say, we don't want anyone in, I want my park to feel like it's my special park where I can walk my dog alone, even though I complain about the fact that no one's up here
And nothing's
and
maintained,
nothing
and-
happens.
yeah.
But we say we want to protect the view shed and the spaces, because then there's enough big people in the room that are hearing that as we want to increase economic opportunity while maintaining the reason that people want to come here for outdoor rec,
Right.
which is,
I mean, people are so glad that our restaurant is finally seeming to be stable.
oh, I hope
Our one restaurant.
Yeah,
And they won't stay stable if we don't
Yeah,
get
don't
new
have
people
people.
to come up.
oh, there's a guy,
to
Jeff
defend it.
Broom, who,
Oh geez,
I play hockey with him. He plays hockey,
yeah, I know.
and he keeps harassing me, he's like, when are you gonna go to the inn? And I'm like, Jeff,
But it's really good. No,
He-
they have
he does,
great
yeah.
food.
It is
I was there
actually,
last night.
Were
It's
you?
great food.
maybe when you guys come up to look at the space for the meeting, we'll go have lunch with it.
I actually
Oh, that would
told
be a great
Amanda,
idea.
we actually went in that snowstorm, and we're like, we should go, and like, nothing's open.
No, it is better, it's so much better than the last owners, it's
Yeah.
a little,
I mean, the last
Well,
owners at
pricey,
least got
yeah.
it going.
Yes.
And I honor them for
Yeah.
that, but
food wise,
yeah, it wasn't
I wasn't
as
gonna,
good.
yeah, they've done their best
So where are we going to have the big meeting?
at the park.
At the, oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Are we
yeah.
going downstairs in the?
We'll do in the classroom, probably, we can
Okay,
look,
yeah.
I'll have you guys,
That's big
probably
enough.
have you guys come up and we can figure out, would it be possible to use your owl if we're doing virtual? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that we don't have an owl and they are helpful for
Yeah.
bigger meetings.
Yeah, we can take
Um,
this, we have all of our screens, our projectors, like my computer, we can bring any of it. So
Cool.
if you just give me a list of what you
Maybe a
want.
bigger screen.
Yeah, we have
or
a
like
ton of big
projector.
screens.
We
I
have our PA system and
was
our,
gonna say,
But
you
we'll
guys
do
have
food
one, I
down.
have one,
They can-
Downstairs.
Yeah.
so
Lori
we'll
can-
need
So we're
to,
talking for the 2-day one?
we'll have to have like a operations
March
meeting and
Yeah.
can make a list of what we need and
And if
who's
it's
bringing
decided
what.
that that's not the
So.
spot, I'm open to it, but because we have food, easy, like we can just cook for 60 downstairs.
Yeah, there's a
easily.
kitchen.
And
Oh,
have Lori
easy.
do that, yeah,
Right,
oh yeah,
she
she
should
love
do
to,
that.
so.
Because we've had other meetings there.
And then
Okay.
really quick on successful implementation, I just put like who what's worked, like talking with the younger people, like for the 4-H, the FFA, like talking with the schools, like that's worked pretty well, but could be better. Community connections is extremely strong, just limited in funding, recruitment, generation, retainment. And then I put the general consensus is that we want Pueblo to be a small, thriving community, but one that is protected for the viewshed, the outdoor spaces, and natural resources that are thriving in the area, along with giving honor to the agricultural histories in the area as well. Economic development is key to this. So the town needs a little bit more tourism and activity, but that doesn't necessarily mean the town size needs to expand in large quantities.
Do you know what really needs to happen in our town? We have a lot of derelict houses that if we had some sort of a housing project like Habitat for Humanity could come up there, then we could attract more families that can't afford a really expensive home.
Or derelict and or just seasonal homing or Airbnbs, I'm gonna say. I
know, the
they,
Airbnb thing is a huge issue.
I love using them.
Yeah.
I love using them, but there needs to be like, Pueblo needs to put a cap on, or help Beulah put a cap on the number of those now before it becomes out of hand. Because people just scoop up those the affordable properties for Airbnbs.
Which they say all that's going to crash this year anyway. That's
Do they?
coming. Yeah, because of
Why?
the fees and people making it where like basically you have to take care of someone's property while you're on vacation. So people are just going back to hotels because you don't have to
Interesting.
pay for that.
And more communities are putting
I had
pretty specific,
yeah.
like I know Breckenridge now, if you weren't essentially grandfathered in, they're not allowing any new ones, and that they upped the cost of like, if you wanna
Salida's
operate
going
one.
that way, because
Yeah,
I talked to
so-
the mayor of Salida, and he said, we have a real problem
Oh, yeah, I
in
mean,
Poncha Springs, because I can't remember the number, but it was like 70% of the new builds are Airbnbs.
Wow.
And they don't vote for
interesting.
anything,
they
they
don't
vote
vote for
everything
anything,
down.
they're-
Yeah.
They won't. Anyway, it is a big problem in it.
Some of the cutest homes in our town are, I see people in them for like one weekend a year, I'm like,
I know.
Yeah, because apparently that's like it's in all the market talks of it. Now it's going to be boutique hotels are like the next
the next
Big
thing.
trend, and I'm just like I don't even know what that is. I guess it says I live in Pueblo, and I'm like I don't know what that is. Like you buy
So
is
some
it?
people like to think that, the hotel that went into the jail,
Yeah,
like with its,
Oh.
you know, it's like the rooms are usually a little, each
They're
one's a little
themed.
different, and like it's, you know,
I mean-
so.
I haven't even been in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
I'm
other
like-
real need
I'm
for
like
Pueblo, and I don't
jury
know
and
where this,
$130
for
bucks a
Beulah
night.
is senior
Dirty
housing.
motel.
Free
We
dinner and
tried
free
that.
drinks.
And that might even be in like number 4 or something else, but we have a tremendous need for senior housing where, because a lot of our residents are so old that they can't take care of their properties. They need to be somewhere where it's a 1-bedroom apartment. And we tried this a few years ago, and it was going to be too expensive, but at that time, the people trying it didn't know how to get grants and things like that, and they are available. So the DOLA